Is Zepbound leading to disordered eating? 13 lifestyle changes you must cultivate and avoid disordered eating. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have lost over 108 pounds the last almost 2.5 years. No, is it more than 2.5? It's been a long time. It's been 2.5 years-ish or so. It's been a quite hot second. I've been on Zepbound 15 milligrams for over the last year. I went from morbidly obese, weighing over 300 pounds now, to lifting weights, walking. I literally just got back from vacation, and I've been able to go horseback riding and swimming, and I mean, just a ton of physical stuff that I never thought I would be able to do, having been morbidly obese now to being the weight that I am. And I enjoyed my vacation so much. I saw this story and I really wanted to talk about disordered eating as a result of GLP-1 medications. So make sure you share this with your GLP-1 bestie or anybody who's starting GLP-1s, or even for my OGs who've been on GLP-1 medication like I have for the last 2.5 years. These tips still apply to me. And so as I was going through my mental Rolodex, but my mental checklist of things that have worked really, really well for me, from being somebody who struggled and that pain of white knuckling with food and having a very skewed disordered eating, to now having a very, I feel like, healthy perspective. I still am continuously, let's not get it twisted, continuously working on this on my journey, but definitely have come so far the last 2.5 years on this. Now, I said must-haves. You don't have to do anything. You can take or leave whatever you want with this. And I'm sure in our community, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of really, really healthy counts and countesses in the community. You can take what you want and leave the rest. Some of this may not be applicable to you, and some of this may be like super, super high on your radar of things that you want to implement immediately today. So let's dive into our list. One, there was an article. It's from the Daily Mail. So can we just take the source? You guys know I always cite my sources as being factually accurate. I demand and require of myself in the day and age of where that's not a requirement. It is here at the Countess of Shopping. So my source is the Daily Mail, so take that for what it is. But it was 60% of patients at a leading clinic for disordered eating, or for people who have anorexia, bulimia, were using things like Zepbound, Wegovy, semaglutide, Tirzepatide. So 60%. They're going into a clinic. They have a skewed eating on the very high spectrum of skewed eating. They're having bulimia, anorexia. And so they're finding in this, the UKAT group, rehab specialists are finding that more and more people coming in who do have anorexia and bulimia have used GLP-1 medication. And so doctors at Banbury Lodge Clinic in Banbury, Oxfordshire, hi to our UK friends, say 28 out of the 48 patients they've treated for eating disorders this year, nearly 2/3 were on and were actively using GLP-1 medication. So Zepbound, Wegovy, Tirzepatide, semaglutide, which can reduce your body weight up to 20%. So some of the patients were as young as 16, said the doctors, and experts at the clinic say the problems got really bad within 6 months. And so no patients after this were using the medications. And so I think what we're going to start seeing here with GLP-1 medications, one, I want to put this on your radar. If you are like me and come from a background of where you're, this sounds so cuckoo pants, but I'm gonna be completely I'm just gonna be really naked right now. I'm gonna be totally naked, but I'd rather be naked in the hopes of helping somebody than not. There was pockets of where my eating got so bad, of where I would be like, I really wish I was able to be anorexic or bulimia. How sad is that, by the way? That is so incredibly sad. And I am sad for that. I am sad for that part of myself. Obviously, incorporating tip number one, therapy, in for me has been huge. Working with a trained professional, working with a healthcare provider, working with a team. And I said this on my last video, and I think it got misinterpreted, so I want to clarify. I say Avengers Assemble. Assemble a team for yourself to help support you, because for me, Zepbound, Mounjaro, Tirzepatide compound, I've been on all those because of the shortages. I've needed a team to help assist me and have a safety net for myself. And that has been so incredibly important. And someone said in the comments, well, you can afford all these things. You just went horseback riding and all these things. And I'm like, let's not forget, I worked in my 20s and 30s, 60 to 80 hours a week, every single week. I did not do all these crazy things. And so I do have the resources to be able to do that. And I'm not, I've worked very hard for that. So I'm not going to diminish that. But I have also said, if that is not where you are right now in terms of resources, YouTube has free resources. There's a ton of free resources. You may have to do more legwork to get it, but you can still have the Avengers assemble of having a dietitian, but maybe it's a YouTube dietitian. Maybe the mental mindset, it's me each day with my daily videos. Maybe you have another personal trainer in quotes, but it's here on YouTube because it's free. We don't need to be spending all this stuff out of our pocketbooks. That's not the point in which I was trying to say. Number one, the point in which I'm trying to say is having trained professionals help you in some capacity. Wow, I just literally realized how much of a hot mess I left, and that's okay. Like, I'm not putting on makeup for my besties. We're talking about something super serious. I'm not getting all glammed up on today's episode. But change is hard. And number one, we need support for that change. And that for me is like number one of how do I reverse engineer, think with the end in mind of it's going to get difficult. For me, it's gotten difficult, and it can get difficult emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, whatever, like, all the different ways that we are as human beings. Having resources to help with those changes, because making these changes goes against the grain. And for me, very much so, it's been a mindset shift that I've had to work on a daily basis. And maybe you're not like me. I always say I'm a turtle. Fellow turtles unite. It has been slower for my brain, slower for me to weight train. We were talking in my free encouragement group, which I'll link down below. It is totally free, totally free in that group. It is not on Facebook. I've gotten off of Facebook because of their ridiculous GLP1 policies that they have. So the Count and I have built this group. It's linked down below, countessofshopping.com/group. On that, we were talking about change and how hard it is. It is hard to make changes. So setting up these safety nets. Number two, cultivating that mindset is super important. In my free encouragement group, there's a subset group of the Austin, Texas group, and I got to talk to them yesterday. I got to go out for a meetup. I flew out when I was in Austin filming for one of my clients. We ended up having a meet and greet together, and it was so awesome meeting all the Austin, Texas gals. And so they still meet once a month, and they have like, they're besties. Like, they have a group text chain, having that. And so I really this is why I'm like, come join my group. It's free. You meet all these cool people within it. And there's substacks of different things within there, which is so incredibly cool. And so I was really, for the Austin, Texas besties, hi besties, love you guys. I think that's so cool of having that social support with it, because this disordered eating track with it too, being able to talk about people, being able to talk about like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like I'm eating enough calories, or oh my gosh, I feel like I'm eating too many calories, or oh my gosh, why is my eating so off the rails recently? Which has just happened to me. Like, there's different things that happened over the last 2.5 years. Having that group has been super helpful. Number three, setting realistic goals. People come on and I see it all the time. I've had the privilege to be able to listen and to watch over the last 2.5 years. And it's been one of the greatest privileges of my life, truly. Like, besides being a wife and a mom, like, this is one of the greatest privileges, truly. Like, I am humbled and honored to be with you guys on a daily basis. Seeing one of the pitfalls that people have that could lead into trouble is not setting up realistic goals. And so going back to this article that I was talking about, people of having this like skewed, it goes into the skewed part of, I'm going to lose 20 pounds in a month. No, why are we setting ourselves up for that? Why are we not saying a healthy 1 to 2 pounds per week? Why is that not the goal? Like, literally, this is me pushing back on, because I literally came on, and granted, being over 300 pounds when I started this medication, I lost over 10 pounds or whatever it was. It was a lot the first week. I always say that first week I did binge eat my brains out prior to that. And so a lot of that was salt, and like, just, it wasn't traditional weight, it was water weight. Having that unrealistic goal, oh, I'm going to keep losing 10 pounds every week, that is so not healthy. And so this is why, again, having a safety net of having healthy people around you to support you, to help speak truth out, to help speak out realistic goals of 1 to 2 pounds per week. With that, I would like to add into that too, of not just having weight as the goal, but having non-scale victories as the goal. And if you'll notice, because the amazing Clokey, if he's watching, thank you, Clokey, one of my friends who's awesome, really sent me this amazing, we had this conversation, it really hit me, because I realized I still, at this 2.5 year journey, am focused so much on my weight still, that has got to change for me. And me speaking this out of I'm going to be, and you're seeing it. You're seeing me talk more about non-scale victories, like being able to ride a horse, being able to lift. I'm so excited this week. I'm going to be on HSN on July 1st. I have 4 shows with them, so I won't be able to work out on that day. And the day after, I'll be live streaming for Amazon Corporate for Prime Day prep. Like, so I won't be on July 1st and July 2nd. It's crazy cuckoo-doodle-doo for me. After those and before that, I very much will be getting back into lifting hardcore. So setting up myself for non-scale victories. And I got emotional about thinking about how focused in on weight. This is why I have a safety net around me. I have an amazing therapist. I have a hot husband. I have friends. I have other people in my life that can speak truth of like, you need to get back on the path, right? And so I'm sharing that with you to be vulnerable, not to get thrown back in my face later on, but to be vulnerable with you for your journey to hopefully help you recognize if you do stray a little on this path, it's not a straight path. It's, for me, it's been very much like of learning and recognizing, and then just course correcting back so I don't go down these rabbit holes and stay in this healthy balance. And that's what it is balance within it. Setting up realistic goals, having a non-scale victory focus instead of a scale focus. I did a weekly weigh-in, and in it I talked more recently about the non-scale victory focus. It really wasn't about at all the weigh-in, but I did the weigh-in. You know why? Because it's a highly searched topic, and it annoys me that that's one of the highly searched topics here on YouTube. I'm like, ugh! I want to start shifting the conversation of, am I strong enough to be able to lift things like my suitcase on an airplane over my head into the overhead bin? Health focus is the next one. Reviewing our progress with before and after pictures. I love talking about before and after pictures because to me it's so incredibly motivating of what my life was before and what it's like now. And that reminder of like, oh my gosh, like I am a strong, tough chickadee. I've come a long ways. For me, we just got back from the beach. And my before and after pictures, even from 3 years ago, because we go every year, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, last year, even just last year, I was like, I've come such a long way. Wearing these leggings, I haven't worn leggings since 5th grade. I've recently, over the last few months, started to wear leggings. I'm like, and then I realized also how much skinnier I look in leggings. I'm like, she looks good in those leggings. And so I want to encourage you to take before and after pictures. In my free encouragement group, we had a whole, that's going to be one of my segments that I continue to do on there. We're doing so much in that free group. I am so excited. I'm so excited to get past Prime Day. I'm really looking forward to it, but also so to get past my HSN show dates, I'm really looking forward to those, and also really looking forward to Prime Day, but also really excited to get past it because the count and I have so much we want to focus in on the group, but we've been, maybe like it's been nuts here. It's been nuts, needless to say. I've been traveling so much and it's been nuts on our end. But reviewing those before and after pictures, there's a segment in my group. It's really motivating to see everyone's before and after pictures. Next, knowing coping mechanisms. So stress, I'm saying that it's been crazy here on my end to share with the coping mechanisms of it used to be food for me. And quite frankly, if I'm brutally honest, it still can be, but not in the capacity that it was. Before starting GLP1 medication and Zepbound, it was, I would eat my feelings. At nighttime, it was like my free reign to go off the rails. I deserved it. It was a reward. It was quiet in the house. I could be by myself. And so now it's very much not, I very much work very hard to have rewards that are not food-based. I am a foodie though. I really do enjoy food quite a bit. But making things that are associated with positivity to be different than not food related. And so coping mechanism for things when do get stressful, like right now the count and I are in a very stressful pocket. It's very stressful, like very, very stressful. There's a lot going on personally. It relates to my a family member of ours that I have been asked not to speak on, so I won't. But just know, like, life is lifing. And I know for so many of you, life is lifing. The beautiful Lori talks about being a caretaker for her amazing husband with dementia. And my heart, like, I sit there and like literally like I tell you guys, I pray over you guys in not in like a judgmental, like in a loving, kind, beautiful way of like, I pray for all of you in the comments and our community of coping with life when life is lifing, when it's flipping hard, that's not food related. And so for me, that very much has had to shift. How do you do that when you take food away? If you're just starting with Zepbound, that for me was like, oh, if I'm going to take this drug for the rest of my life, some form of GLP1 medication. It may not be Zepbound, but probably with the information I have right now, some form of GLP1 medication. How am I going to cope with stressful situations, hard stuff without having food? Take that off the table. It has tested my spirituality and so much, my faith, my walk with what I believe in, and being peace in my heart. That has been challenging. I was not expecting that on this journey of the coping mechanisms, and I probably should have. But when life is lifing and life gets really hard, how do I continue to push forward without using food with that and sitting in that pain? And you know what my therapist tells me? Sit in it. Do not try to avoid that feeling. It's going to pass. Our emotions flip very quickly. I forget what it is. How many seconds? How many seconds we sit in emotion? It's not long at all. Is it 60 seconds, 2 minutes of where our emotions change every 60 seconds, every 120 seconds? It's something around that ballpark. It's quick. And so if I allow myself to sit in it without reaching for food to stuff and numb that, that has been huge for me. Huge. And I'm still actively working on that one because I'm actively in it right now. And it's really, really hard when life is lifing. Next, mindful eating. When I am eating, I love this. I love this part. Is I am mindful of the food that I'm having. I'm thankful to be thankful when I'm eating, recognizing to nourish my body, to do thy will, for my belief system. And so I'm thinking about that, of the nourish my body to do thy will. That to me is really, really important, of the nourishment component. And not eating so quickly, because I realized I ate very quickly. I still do sometimes. I'm a very quick eater. Part of that is being a mom. When you have a little, my kid's not little, he's 9.5, almost 10. But having littles, we had to eat quickly. There was a finite set time that we had to eat, and then our kid, when they were, I remember laughing about that when we were in the Outer Banks. We went to, there was a buffet down there, Captain John's or something like that. And there is, like, we were at that buffet, it was like 20 minutes, and my kid was like a baby. He was less than 1 year old and was ready to go. And so eating quickly, that was one of, like, we ate quickly for years. And now realizing I can be mindful. I don't have to eat that fast. There is no reason for me. Let me savor. Let me enjoy. My therapist really worked on the word savor with me. And I want to encourage you to focus in on that too when I'm eating. Savoring, nourishment, putting my fork down in between bites. Zepbound is awesome. On day, when it's 24 to 48 hours for me, peak appetite suppression with Zepbound, I really can do that very well. Woohoo! It's on day 5, day 6, day 7, when there's less appetite suppression, I am less inclined to be mindful with my eating on that. Next, sleep. Sleep. By the way, I've been talking about more so, I'm entering perimenopause. You'll see more on that. That has been interesting. I went to the doctor about perimenopause. I'll do a whole episode on that. And my hormones have been whacked out. Thankfully, this happened before with my hormones, and when I started Zepbound, I knew I was having a hormonal shift because my period started to change dramatically. So if you're having that, talk to your healthcare provider on that. For me, I did switch over to Bioptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough, 7 types of magnesium. I'll link it down below. Make sure you use my link down below. There's bad actors on Amazon. Make sure you're using the one I'm recommending to make sure it's the right link for it. And as of right now, you can use the discount code COUNTESS on Amazon to save right now, which is amazing. And that has helped so much with my sleep. I don't have sleep issues anymore, but I do find, and when I can't go to sleep, they have sleep breakthrough if I need like an extra bump up on top of that. And that has been very, very, very helpful for me. Highly recommend sleep, focusing in on that, because when I'm well rested, I make better decisions. I've not been sleeping well the last few days. I've been very nervous, anxious. Live shows for me are very stressful. I'm good at it. I'm one of the top ones. Like, I'm good. I can, like, not bragging or boasting, but I'm good at it. I'm really good at a live show. Whereas a lot of people cannot do that and talk continuously for an hour straight or 15-minute segment or whatever. I can do that, and like, I can do that. But it's so stressful for me. Just because I can do it does not mean on the back end I'm not sweating bullets. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have the worst BO because I stink, because I'm so nervous. Like, there is a lot that goes into a live show, which is one of the reasons why I love YouTube, because I can do this. And it's not that stressful anxiety for me. I'm like, oh yeah, when I had my Amazon live streaming channel that live streamed 24/7 with my channel that I had, during the pandemic, that was so stressful because tech issues happen, life happens, stuff happens, power outlet happens. And so stress management with that, it's the season I'm in right now. It is, my husband and I recognize that. Hopefully in the next few weeks that will diminish. Next, all or nothing mentality in relation to food, but in relation in general. I realized that the black and white mentality that I've had, that there are shades of gray. And that for me has been very interesting in terms of mindfulness with eating and in relation to my food and in relation to how people can do GLP-1s, and like there's shades of gray. There truly is shades of gray. And even with intentions with stuff, that there's shades of gray. I know I have no malice or no ill will. I know in my heart of my heart of my hearts of hearts, but I have been on the internet long enough to know that things can get skewed or twisted or misinterpreted or whatever. And so with that there is shades of gray. And so for me, giving the benefit of the doubt for myself and for others, I've really been working on that. But in relation to my food, that there's not one way to do this. This is why I said at the beginning, take what you want and leave the rest, because certainly my way is not the only way. And if someone tells you that their way is the only way, run, because there's multiple ways to do this. So many different ways to do GLP-1 medication, as we're finding through the science and the data, and so many different ways people have reactions to GLP-1 medication. Hyper responders, hypo responders, non-responders, and normal responders. There's 4 different ways that within those buckets, and within those 4 buckets, then those are different. So realizing that there's multiple ways to do this, but you have to find what's best for you within this. This is one of the many reasons Danielle, I love her. I love Danielle to pieces. Danielle is one of our awesome countesses here in the community. Danielle works out, she lifts, she suns out, guns out. She lifts so much. She's so inspiring to me. On Simply Fit Cookie on Instagram. Danielle, throw down your Instagram handle if you want, if you wish. She had post her inspiring lifting videos. It's so motivational for me. That is one way to do it. Then we have the beautiful Sandy. She's on her bike. She's biking while she's watching these videos. That's so motivating to me too. She's like, I'm riding for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever it is. That's her way. And then we have someone else who's, and I'm forgetting their name, so forgive me, but they tap dance and they've gotten really good at tap dancing. And I love that so much. It makes my heart giggle for them. It makes me so happy for them. Like, just in terms of physical activity, some people don't do any physical activity. I couldn't do physical activity. I couldn't do physical activity for the first year. It took me a year to just get the food part down of putting my fork down when I was full. Like, I'd watch people on YouTube and I'd be like, how in the world are they doing this? Because this is so hard for me. And if it's so hard for you too, know that fellow turtles unite. We're going to get there. We do win. It just takes a little bit longer. And that's also okay. And that's why I go back to having other metrics besides the scale, before and after photos, pants, like clothing to measure. There's different ways to measure using your smart scales, not scales, but the smart ones, smart tape measures. Like, there's lots and lots of different ways to do that, which, by the way, and then I was talking about the magnesium breakthrough. The link is down in the description if I didn't say that. Some people don't know how to get to the description. Click the ... more button. All or nothing mentality, cultivating. Okay, so let's recap here. Change is hard. We need a support system. My group can help with those mental mindset shifts. Cultivating a positive mindset, realistic goals, non-scale victory focus, health focus, review your progress with the before and afters. For me, reviewing that at the beach this year of even physically what I was able to do. And I set health goals for myself when I left the beach of what I want to do this time next year. I have to train for that. To be able to do that, like, I was tired. My niece and nephew, I took them fishing. I was so tired. I fell asleep that night at 6:30. My husband said, "Are you going to bed?" I said, "I sure am." It was so physically laborious for me. I'm like, oh, I got a ways to go in terms of my strength. When we need to make a tweak, adjust and tweak, adjust and tweak. But I need to have a support system for me to help me with that. I can't do that all by myself. And it does not have to be a paid support system. It can be free. You are a smart individual. If you don't have the finances to do some of this, use free resources. Totally. Like, you don't have to, like, this is where I'm like, you don't have to spend out of your pocket. Hello, like, I grew up in a single parent household. I'm very good of, like, you don't have to pay out of pocket for stuff. Like, you can be really smart in terms of, like, the library has, my dad and I were talking about this. He's like, Elizabeth, why are you not using the library for your Audible books while you're walking? And I was like, why am I not? He's like, it's free. from the library on Audible, but it's a different, what's it called? Tell me, you guys have it down below in the US. What's it called? Libby for the library? What's it called? My dad's gonna be mad that I forgot now. Anyways, I'm gonna be doing that when I'm walking. I wanna listen to those free resources. I don't have to buy it necessarily on Audible on Amazon, although that is easier for me at times, but getting it from the library for free, great. To listen to audiobooks, great. Next, sleep, stress management, and the all or nothing mentality. I do like to say one final thing that I wish I had said at the beginning, but I'm not going to edit this video. Is the media likes to paint out pictures for GLP-1 medication patients not well. Like, it's not necessarily a favorable thing. So this story can be inflammatory about disordered eating and things like that. And certainly there is a pocket, clearly, of people who have disordered eating, and that punts back to healthcare providers. They have safety checks to make sure that when they're dispensing these drugs, that they're not giving it to people who have anorexia, bulimia, or disordered eating type things. But I think it's important for the obese community coming in for GLP-1 patients for me, and I will use my I statements, I came in with a skewed view of eating that I have had to work on. I'm not saying that's for everybody. I'm saying for me and for my household, this temple that I am in, I've had to work really, really hard on that. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears. That's taken me a lot, probably more than the average bear, and that's totally fine too. That's totally fine. Because it's needed to, it's been, I'm in my 40s. Like, thank you, Lord, I've been able to heal some of this stuff and continue to heal because I'm not there yet. This is not an end destination. I am continuing to work on this. I'm continuing to do this. I am so excited for this next year of where my life is going with my health. I am so motivated. I looked at my hot husband when we were on vacation. I'm like, dang, babe, you look good. Like, he's all ripped. He does P90X. He's got not a six pack, but like a multiple pack on his abs. He was tan. He's normally pasty white because he's Ukrainian. And so to have the fact that he had a little tan going on, I'm like, you go, babe. Got some new clothes for the beach. Like, just cute. Cute, 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 cute. And I want to continue to elevate, not for like cute vanity component, but in terms of health. Well, a little bit for the vanity. Let's keep it real. A little bit for the vanity, but for the health components. I want to be strong as I finish out my 40s. I'm in my mid 40s. I want to be strong, and I will be. I'm going to be. But staying on the pathway of not just with weight loss, that it is encompassing with health. Now, I know there's some things I missed. I would love it in a loving way if you tell me as your action item for today. Usually I do accountability question of what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals. I would also love to know what are you doing today to move you closer to your health goals. Specifically, not necessarily weight loss. 2, our emoji of the day is going to be broccoli. I'm thinking about VeggieTales. VeggieTales, VeggieTales, broccoli, celery. You guys know what I'm talking about? No? Anyways, broccoli is our emoji of the day. I do emojis of the day. It helps me to get to know you better because I care. If you've made it this far in the video, you're one of my besties. You're one of my counts or countesses. It is also my bat signal to pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, great. I will uplift you in positive thought because all are welcome at the Countess of Shopping community. In a time where it is so incredibly divisive right now, I truly feel like it is one of my missions, and I'm working so hard on this, to make it an inclusive, loving, kind group. If you're kind. If you're mean, though, then I don't want you in my club if you're mean. I want loving, kind people and surround myself with encouragement and love and uplifting because there are going to be pockets of where this gets hard, and having loving, uplifting people to help push us up, not pull us down. So that is important to me, like super, super important to me. And I love our community. I love what we have cultivated together, and I am grateful for you. If you've made it this far in the video, from my heart to yours, thank you. Free stuff, free group down below, countessofshopping.com, blog posts. The Count's taken over that website. It's gotten so much better in the last couple of months. It will continue to get better. And I appreciate also your grace in the free encouragement group, like me being on vacation. Check out July 1st. I will be on HSN. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to tell my show times yet or not. There's 4 of them. So I'll post those in the free encouragement group, and I'll post them here on the community section here on YouTube too. Okay, my sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping, counting our blessings because life is delicious. I love you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe.